here, right? So the election was kind of crazy on. Was it Tuesday? All the days run together.
Tuesday.
And what I saw on my feed kind of made me a little saddened, I would say, because just like a lot of the comments, we had a lot of people feeling, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Despair, I would say, for a better word, or I kind of felt a lot of that.
Shock, despair, anger.
Yeah.
I mean, on the other side, fearful.
Oh.
Right, and then the other side was just like, hey, throwing it in our face, in the faces, and everyone's faces.
It was so crazy how they was like, and so I was like, man, this is kind of crazy. Maybe we should, do a podcast, kind of have a little talk. But what was funny, so I had a few days to kind of think about it too, also. So, like you said, on the other side, they were just like a lot of showing off and rubbing it in their face, and you know what I'm saying. So I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. But I remember though, because I like to play devil's advocate. I like to play. I'm the Gemini, I beat both sides. I remember when Obama was president.
2012.
Now here's the difference though. The difference is, I can tell you this: Obama did not have any racial overtones to his race. Like, he didn't say any derogatory racial terms to, and you know what I'm saying. But
right.
Okay, so I know it's not apples to apples. It's definitely not.
No.
But I do remember that, and I can see the other side feeling like, if I was a non-African American or a non-minority, I'd be like, oh snap, now we got a black president. Now we gotta, they're gonna get us. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know what I'm saying?
Give them the shaky.
I actually didn't cut my hair for 4 years once Obama got elected. Like, I didn't cut my hair for 4 years.
Wait,
I grew an afro. I was like, I was straight black power. I was like, I said, we got a black president. You ain't gonna tell me my hair is no longer professional. I grew an afro.
Did you really?
And then I braided it.
Do you have pictures?
I got pictures. I gotta dig them up. I got pictures. People remember when I had the cornrows. It's like, that's why I did it, because I was like, I'm not cutting my hair. I'm just gonna go straight. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And then, after a while, I'd be like, scratching. I was like, this stuff got to go after a few years. But but that's how I was feeling. I was feeling really good,
right.
and proud,
Yeah.
So, and I could see the other side too. So that was pretty interesting. I guess we both do it. It's kind of what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? We both was kind of like that, but we didn't have the racial overtones that we kind of felt during this election. Which,
I mean, there was racial issues where a lot of because sometimes, just out of curiosity, there is actually hate radio out there. There's white supremacist radio, and out of curiosity, I listen just so I can know what to prepare. Because living in New Hampshire, you need to know who's who, and there is one particular show that I found out about, and I was listening in. And they were saying, like, the same thing that they're saying today, like, Trump's not my president. Back November 6th, that week of 2012, they were saying the same thing. He's not my president. There's no way that this N-word is going to be my president, and all that kind of stuff. So it was really, like, surprising. In fact, if you look at the history of Trump and how this all came out, where y'all should know by now that Hillary had won by popular vote. He won by electoral votes. And this happened exactly with Obama.
Yep.
And Trump tweeted, and it's factual. It's his actual tweet. If you go to his tweet record, he tweeted that the Electoral College needs to be done away with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's just weird how and let's protest. He actually, recommended protest. The night of election, when I saw where things were going, I just said a prayer and I said, look, same thing 2012, actually not 2012, but the first time he ran, which was 2009 or something like that. My feeling is whoever is president has a lot of cleaning up to do. Now is whoever is president has to continue the progression of our country. I've always felt our country was great. I said, but it's a huge responsibility. And I felt when I saw it was pretty much going towards Trump, I said a prayer and said, listen, no matter what, whoever is going to be our president, we have to do our best to continue doing what we're already doing. Like, for me, I'm going to keep being a mom, keep working hard, keep bettering myself, and doing my goals. I have goals all the time. I never stop. And I'm just and I have to say, so right after, so I'm a family therapist. For 48 hours, I've been wiping tears of little kids who were afraid that their family was going to be deported.
You know what's crazy that you say that? That is interesting. And my wife and I was talking about that. I don't think we've seen this before. I haven't, where children were actually affected by this. Our kids, my kids also had many comments, and they were talking about my son was telling me that kids in school were crying because they thought that their parents were going to be deported. You know what I mean? So this was different in that these kids were like really
involved.
Involved and affected by
Really
that.
involved. And in fact, the day of and prior days leading, a lot of my clients, I have clients from age 3 to age 17. One of them was like probably 8 years old, and he was like, who are you voting for? And I'm like, well, that's actually a personal question, and I'm excited that you're interested in it, but that's something that's probably so he was like, you better vote for Trump, if not my mom's gonna be deported, like that kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't think it's gonna work like that. But
so so we kind of asked the question of the younger kids. So let's give James a call, because James is definitely he's not 6, but James is about 19, 20, maybe 21. So very definitely on the younger side of things. And when we talk about these decisions affecting our kids and our next generation, surely, like you said, you're going to continue to be a mom and do what you have done. But then we have younger gentlemen like James that are just like just getting started and trying to find their bearings. And let's see what James feels about the election from his perspective. So we're calling you, James. All right.
So we're calling James, and then I do see some comments, and we're gonna roll back to those comments. We're not ignoring you. So let's just
okay. Cool. Let's jump in with James. Let's see if I can get this right. Look, I love technology.
You're so good with that.
Oh, it didn't work yet.
Hello?
James!
Dale.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Oh, we're doing wonderful. Thanks for participating.
Oh, no problem, bro.
Cool. You're hearing us okay on that side and everything?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you perfect.
All right, good, man. And Leonie's here, of course.
Hi, James. How are you?
Hi, Leonie. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, man. So yeah, as you know, we were just talking about our thoughts from our perspective, and just saying that younger kids we saw were really affected. So not that you speak for all young people, but as far as friends that I know, you're one of the younger guys. And for those that don't know James is a really funny comic, a really great guy. Actually, he and I went down to this is funny, real quick. He and I went down to New York City maybe 3 weeks ago, and we did Gotham. Was it Gotham? What was it? Gotham, right? And
Yep.
And so we drove down to Gotham, me and him, and we got to perform there. And he takes a picture of me turning up before Gotham. We're in the restaurant. I'm sitting there with my head like this. I'm knocked out, sleeping, yo.
That's his version of turning it up and turning it down.
So it's definitely a dynamic between the young dude. He's like, yo, man, come on, we're at Gotham, get up. I was like, all right, when I get on stage, I'll be fine. But right now, I got to take a nap. So.
Right. But all the weeks that we drove down to Levity, how many times did I fall asleep in the car while you were still awake?
Oh yeah, that's true. I thought you were faking too when it was time to pay for gas.
No.
Oh man. So yeah, James. So just a general question, man. What was your thoughts? What were you thinking? And how does you think this is going to affect you from your perspective?
Well, my thoughts on the election were I was shocked by the outcome, to be honest, but. It's like Chappelle said. Well, you don't watch SNL last night, but like Chappelle said, I think people react out of fear and their emotions before they think, generally. And I think, like you see, all the protests and people getting beat up because they voted for Trump and stuff. I think people just need to take a deep breath and realize that maybe he's not going to do such a bad job. Maybe we gotta give him a chance, see how he does for a little bit. And, maybe we'll be all right. It's like the thing you posted about all the things that we had a conversation about this, actually, all the things that you accomplished while George Bush was president. Mm-hmm. I don't think who the president is really affects, what we have to do and how we have to make ourselves better as people. I think that comes down to an individual person's choices.
Interesting.
And I saw that posting, and I liked it. I thought that's exactly what I meant when I said we got to keep doing what we got to do, no matter who is the leader of our country. Mm-hmm. I think you should put that up there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people just react out of fear and emotions. A lot of people don't really do research or anything like that before They hear, oh, Trump wants to do this, Trump wants to do that, and they don't really, research what he actually wants to do. So they're scared, But I think Trump winning really has a lot. It says a lot about where our country is. Like our conversation we had before, Dale. You said if Trump wins, it really says that. What does it say about what we value as people? Do we value politically correctness? If Trump wins, can I curse on this?
Yes.
All right. So if Trump wins, and we elect somebody that says grab him by the pussy, what does that say about us? As Americans.
Mm-hmm. 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 And
do we want to lead? Lead talking like that?
Yep, I remember the conversation. Yeah, I do. And that's, I think, for me, part of the issue. I think that because that's the president's supposed to be the guy that's a leader that people model ourselves after. He's he's a representative of us, and not that those things are. And I can understand. Like I said, I always look at the other side. I understand. So when we say, hey, that stuff we talk about in the locker room, there's part truth to that. There's part truth to that. Now, people would say, oh, what kind of locker room is that? Come on, guys joke and talk like that, but we still know that there's a certain time and place and context for things like this, and I feel like we're in a place now where over time our values have just been chipped away at, and when it gets to a point where we have no values, no filter, no concern, no respect for elders and past traditions.
Elders are handicapped for sure, yeah.
Right. That could be a problem at some point.
Yeah, and it is. It does represent. Oh, go ahead, Washington. James.
Well, just saying that made me think. All the things that Trump has said and done, like grabbing by the pussy or mocking a disabled reporter. If Obama had done something like that, imagine the backlash he had received.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah,
it would have been crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, he definitely would. I mean, that's. I mean, especially as a woman, it says that I'm not valuable. I'm not a valuable person, and I am up for grabs. Excuse the pun. But Trump. I mean, I think with the shock of it all, I can't even put my words together straight with it. I'm trying to stay, neutral. Like, I wasn't going to vote actually until the debates took a little bit of a turn, and until that behavior started. I said, you know what? I got to step up. Yes, I voted for Hillary, and I do believe that that this electoral college thingamajig is outdated, and it did cause a lot. But so in a way, we're feeling the sting that a lot of people felt the sting back in 2012 when it was split right in half, right?
Yeah.
But I have to say that all in all, I believe it was a good fight. It's actually okay. So here's some facts, guys. So over 15, I believe, and I could be wrong, but from last I heard, 15 million Americans did not vote. 15 million Americans did not vote, and that definitely could have made a difference, one or the other. Another fact is that what was the other fact? So 15 million Americans didn't vote. Oh, and it's actually not over. So on December 18th or 19th, the Electoral College can turn this vote around. So there was a video that I posted, and maybe we can post it during this podcast, that the gentleman explains that when you go to vote, you're not voting for the candidate itself, but you're voting for the Electoral College that's going to represent the majority of the people to vote. But then on December 19th, they can decide to go with what the vote is at hand, which is, President-elect Trump, or turn it around. And also I heard somewhere down the line that if they turn it around, they could get fined as well for not representing the constituents of that state. So it really isn't over yet. It's a slim chance. But what I saw is on change.org, there's a petition. They're looking for a particular number of people to sign. I signed the petition because it's just that slim chance of, I feel, would be a better candidate to go on. But if it doesn't happen, then we need to support our president. And if you wish him to fail, then you're wishing for my country to fail, our country to fail. I don't want our country to fail.
Exactly. He won fair and square.
Yeah.
But maybe that, like you said, maybe those, what did you say, 15 million people that didn't vote?
15 million people did not vote, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Trump winning will actually, like, open their eyes. Like, oh, maybe my vote really does matter.
Yeah.
You know?
And before we let you go, can you imagine this one piece with all the people that are protesting? How many of those really did vote? Or how many of those are just out there because they just want to stop something, little instigators. So I feel that not everyone that's out there busting up things and busting up people actually took the time of their day to go vote. So, but that's just my opinion.
Yes.
Dale, I don't want to ruin what Chappelle said on Saturday Night Live last night, but probably the best line he said was, I watched a white protest in Portland, Oregon on television last night. They caused $1 million of damages, and every black person in America was watching that like amateurs. Best line of the night.
I'm definitely looking forward to that, man. Okay, James, man, I really appreciate you taking the time, bro. And
no problem.
Keep in touch, James.
Definitely. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, we'll talk. Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, so that was awesome. So we do have another caller. I'm going to hit him up in just a minute. But let me just respond to the Electoral College thing, because I did see you sent a petition my way, and I did a little bit of research on it to kind of figure it out and kind of come to how I felt about it. But this is what I'll say, right? So like you said, the Electoral College, the case here that they're trying to make is that the popular vote, right? Hillary with 60.50 million, and Trump with 60 million votes, according to the research I looked at, right? So very, very close. But nonetheless, Hillary did win the popular vote. And so, like you said, some states have a provision where the Electoral College doesn't actually have to vote for the candidate with the most votes. They can choose to cast a vote for whomever they wish. Right. Though historically they vote for the candidate that does have the most votes. And some states don't have that provision, but they still can vote, but they'll just have to pay a small fine. So there is an opportunity for the Electoral College to cast their votes any way they wish, and that provision is there really from historically to protect us from ourselves, which I think is a good thing, right? So to protect us from ourselves, so that, I guess they were saying, you guys are too dumb to elect. So just in case you screw it up, we want to be able to have a provision in there. So that's kind of where it comes from. Right. But I'll tell you, but me personally, I don't really I don't think it's that cool to switch the votes, because I look like he really did win fair and square. Like, because I come from a sports background, an athlete, and I always felt, I always hated, you got to stand for something, right? I always hated when the rule is one way, but then when you win, everybody wants to change the rules. You know what I mean? Like, I really, for every other situation in my life, I've always hated that. Now, from an integrity point of view, to switch on this and say, oh well, in this case, So I'm. But
it is there. It's a fail safe. The word.
I guess it's there. Fail safe. Yeah.
But it's there, so it could exist and it could happen because it is part of the the rights of in the process and the dynamics of it.
But people change, though. People change.
I know. Well, I mean,
But that's kind of.
this is so much. I mean, we have people waiting, and I don't want to.
Let me get him in.
We're gonna call someone else in.
I'm about to call in Ray Giles. Remember Ray Giles? Does that name ring a bell? Well, that was the gentleman that joined me when we did the A Case for Mars videos.
Yes, and he was wearing a specific shirt.
The bowling shirt. Yeah, that's my cousin, the Dominican bowler.
It's not a bowling shirt. It's a guayabera, and he was wearing it. I was like, I think he's Latino. And of course, I saw the Dominican. I was like, all right.
Ray.
All right.
Hola.
Yeah. Hola.
Wepa. Do you want to introduce who he is?
Yeah, we're watching you on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me just get quick. All right. So Ray Giles is actually my cousin. My grandmother's brother's kids. So we're like we're cousins, right? He's a generation older than me though. He's actually my mother's cousin, direct cousin.
Mm-hmm.
But we're close. And and if you guys follow us, you know the podcast we did a special episode. We like doing these special episodes. We'll do more, but we did one called a Case for Mars. And
I watched that. Can't wait for part 2.
Yeah, so we actually sat down and we spent a few hours, and he just was like breaking a lot of stuff down. So if you saw part 1, I narrowed it down to like 22 minutes. That was put out last week. A lot of guys really enjoyed it and sent good feedback, so I like it. Part 2 I edited today. That's gonna go out later on tonight, so you guys can check out 1 and 2 on Facebook and YouTube. So that's this is the gentleman here, and he's
so thank you, Miss. Thank you for that. Well, what should we call you? Ray, Ramon, ¿qué tú quieres?
Ramon está bien, pero Ray is good. Ray is
okay.
Good.
Bueno, Ramon.
Yeah, I'm here with my Melky. How you doing?
Hey. Hello.
You remember Dale? Yeah, you. No, I actually never met Dale.
Yeah, we didn't meet.
No, I mean I can see you now.
What's up? Yeah, we didn't meet. We didn't meet yet. We haven't met because every time I come, I'm not sure where he's at. But anyway, good to have this conversation now.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I was gonna start it off. He wants me to start it off because his insight to the election is what tipped me off. And what I found out was Kimberly was voting for Bernie Sanders, and I was voting for Bernie Sanders after Kimberly told me about it. And according to our conversation and what we all understood, Bernie Sanders would have won against Trump hands down, but he was not allowed to be the first candidate for some reason.
Yeah, and that's another point that a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are blaming the DNC for putting up Hillary as the candidate. Is that what you're referring to, Ray?
I think, yeah. They were neck and neck really near the end of the point in which they decided that they were going to choose a nominee.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's been WikiLeaks emails that talk about this. Now, it might just be hearsay, who knows, that she worked to slow down his campaign so that they would allow her to go in as the nominee. I don't really know that. Who knows if anybody knows that? But it just seems strange. He would have been the person to be able to get right up to Trump. I mean, he was just as aggressive as Trump. He had the same type of anger and passion as Trump. Yet he had all of the young votes. He had all of the minorities. He was the anti-establishment candidate, just like Trump was. Mm-hmm. Except he's a Democrat. Mm-hmm. And he would have been the only one that's going against the system. Everybody viewed Clinton as the establishment candidate, period. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So in the end, it's like you really have no right choice at this point. And it came to a certain point where I felt ashamed that the only reason why I would choose Hillary is because she's a woman. Mm-hmm. That was just my take. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody else felt differently. There's a lot of people that love Hillary. Yep. I just was one of them. Yep. You know, and I felt like there was going to be some kind of way that the system would make sure Trump doesn't win, but it didn't happen. Oh yeah, that was. I think that's what they were counting on. Oh, this is just too impossible. It is like that's what they said. The jaw dropping thing is you actually. We will all jaw drop that. Now you know it was just so impossible. I was like, no jodimos, no vamos, bye.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of people were surprised, and a lot of people are pointing the finger at the media to a certain degree. And
absolutely.
Then even pointing at Facebook, which is I think it's kind of funny. I think it's definitely worth discussion. I definitely want to have another discussion about social media and things like that. But you know, they're saying how definitely. You know, we get our news from Facebook, but the real short of that is Facebook's whole algorithm algorithm and its whole goal is to feed you stuff that you want to hear because they want you to want to come back and enjoy your experience.
I mean, hence live. Everybody wants everything fast now, yesterday.
And so stuff's tailored to you. So Facebook's not going to give you stuff that, for example, if they know you're for like a Hillary or you're a Democrat or you're leaning towards that side, they're not going to push other things on you that may contradict that. So if you're getting your news from that, you may have a certain view of the world or what's really going on that's not accurate. And I think they're saying that's part of the reason why people are like,
they were leading the blind, and then
they were like, oh yeah, Trump's not going to win. Even the news is doing that, right? Trump's not going to win. But then when he won, everybody's like, what the heck?
Absolutely. I mean, it's behavior tracking. That's what it all is now. I was talking to one of my friends in Boston because I lived there for 3 years, and I know of behavior tracking only because if you go online to buy something or to shop for it, but you're not really sure if you want to buy it, the next day, 3 weeks later, you'll start seeing ads all over, no matter what page you go to try to sell you that thing again because you looked at it before. Everything's tailored to you. He was saying how he started getting ads on Google trying to convince him to vote Republican. And on my end, I got ads trying to convince me to vote Democratic. And so the entire thing is designed to be tailored to your perception of the world. I keep getting ads for cowboy boots.
You must have looked at something. You must have looked at the wrong thing. Careful what you click on.
They won't stop. What cowboy boots? They won't stop.
But that is amazing, and so that's one instance where I could say technology really has played a huge role. I mean, even Obama's election technology played a role just because of the reach and the social media.
Absolutely did.
But I think now we're seeing something a little different from that, and there might be something to it. And it'll be interesting to see because I like to follow Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and I'd like to see how they respond to something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, even like Trump tweets his Twitter. His tweets were a bit off. In fact, during the protests, he was angry about protests, and then with a short time, he was like, "Oh, they're so American. Like, let them protest." Like he was trying, because now he's got to adjust to everyone in his country, you know. So, but Maria was saying that I think he was like that to get votes. So we got to talk about that. Maria, call us in. We're gonna call you in.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. That's a good topic. Yeah. Thanks, Ray and Melquise. That was definitely
thanks for having us.
Gracias, huepa. Cuídate.
I remember, this could all be a distraction, so keep that in mind as we move forward.
All right, while we're all joining having this conversation, someone's getting robbed or something's getting stolen. I hear you. They're emptying out some bank.
We're going That's where we're going. Yeah. I mean, everybody's just spinning bullshit at this point. That's all it is. That's all it is. See you guys later.
All right. Thanks for calling in, guys.
Bye.
Guys.
All right. Okay.
I keep getting ads for big girls.
Yeah, you must have looked at those big girl panties. Be careful what you click on, man.
I was trying to find something sexy that fits the curves, and not all I get. I'm starting to get like a complejo, like a complex. Like, God, do I need to lose weight? Because Facebook keeps sending me these big curvaceous girl clothes.
They're like, scroll left to see the rest of it.
Look at how you look like. Suck in your gut.
Yeah. Anybody else that wants to join in? Come on, guys. This is what we're here for. They're giving us technology. Let's use it. Okay, here we go. Let's see. That's a like. What's this?
So okay. It's Maria.
All right, so let's while we're waiting for another caller, let me at least weigh on that. So the comment was that.
Let me scroll down. See what you got.
Was that they feel that perhaps Trump was just like that, only for the election, meaning that perhaps it was a strategy. I hope it was a strategy, because
I think he's a Democrat in the closet. I really do.
You think so?
I think so.
I hope it's a strategy because I believe a lot of people got hurt by that. And I think a lot of the way people are feeling. So I think there was some damage done to reputation of the office and the seat. So I hope that's the case, or maybe it's the case that how when something goes wrong, before it goes wrong, you're against it, but then once it does hit the fan, you're like, you know what, I might as well just deal with it. So then you look at things to justify it, So maybe it's just a justification because maybe they say, all right, well, maybe he was just saying that,
I mean, he was saying he was going to do away with Obamacare, and now what? He just flipped a coin. He says, well, out of respect for Obama, President Obama, we're just gonna tweak it.
Well, see, I can see those points because if you really think about it, there are a lot of companies and businesses. I work in the healthcare. For my day job is in healthcare related, and there's a lot of money behind or invested in these policies, right? So we make certain policies and provisions with the healthcare, et cetera, like Affordable Care Act and all of that, and then these companies, they set out on a mission to try and build solutions based on that. So to just pull a rug from under these large companies that so for example, I'll give you a quick example kind of now what I'm talking about. Like they say, if you reduce hospital costs and reduce readmissions, so people don't keep coming back to the hospital, et cetera, et cetera. If you invest in doing that and try to make things a little bit cheaper, you'll be rewarded for that. Right. So companies say, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to build solutions for that. We're going to take steps over the next X amount of years to do that, and we're going to invest. And people are spending millions of dollars on software to help them do that kind of stuff, Right. And you can't just come in and just. No, I'm switching all of that.
It's pulling the rug out from everyone.
That's what I'm saying. That's not something that I think Trump is even able to do. So when it comes to the Obamacare thing, I'm like, whoa, not so fast. But there's a lot of people that got a lot of big money invested in that.
And the 6 million people on Obamacare or something like that.
So that I could see. But calling us Mexicans and those people and this and that, that's something different. I don't see how he's flopping. I don't expect him to go back on that.
I've been walking around with my birth certificate. I gotta tell you the truth. And my mama's birth certificate. Because I was born here and my mother was born in Puerto Rico. I'm starting to sing that song from West Side Story. I'm like really practicing it in my head just in case someone's like, you need to leave.
Really? But is it Puerto Rico, United States?
It is.
They still send you back.
I think he said it's his least favorite Mexicans were Puerto Ricans. And I'm like, did he really just say that?
That's what he said?
I think so.
Really? I mean,
someone's gotta Google that. Maria, if you look at old interviews that he did, he was very, very well put together, and he was a Democrat. He was. His old videos, he even talked about, he said something bad about Republicans where, that he would run as a Republican because they believe anything that you feed them.
Yeah, they'll be eating out of the palm of his hand type thing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, we're going to call Maria right now.
So.
Okay, all right. I got a number, guys. Here we go. Let me see.
7, 8.
Whoa.
I know.
You guys don't know what is, do you?
Unless you speak ease.
Okay, here we go. It's Maria
Sotile.
This is fun.
This is fun.
Hello?
Hey, Maria.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. So you said a couple of comments, and I wanted you to come. I want you to let's because it did go off.
Okay, so you're gonna jump back on.
Yeah, I'm jumping back on.
All right, so we're gonna jump back on Liani's feed. Hello, Maria. Nice to meet you again.
Hello.
I hear your accent when you pick up the phone. I caught it. Now, just for those that don't remember, what did we say? She's Latina.
She is Colombiana.
Okay.
But she was born and raised in England.
So she has a little
raised in England, born in the States.
Oh, you were born in the States?
Yeah.
Where? What state?
New Jersey.
You're a Jersey girl? Awesome.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
So she's a Jersey girl. And then she has the Latina accent. When she speaks Spanish, it's the coolest thing ever. I just sit there and get melted because it's like Spanish with a British tone undertone.
That's pretty cool.
And if you add the Jersey girl in there, you're really going to mess people up.
That is so nice. I mean, too bad Trump's going to send your ass back to... I'm just kidding. New Jersey, New Jersey.
He can't. I'm safe. I'm safe from Trump.
Are you? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
New Jersey. I'm just kidding. But I'd like
Wait, hold on. Carry that birth certificate just in case.
just in case. Yeah. Put it on the dashboard. You don't want to be reaching for it.
So yeah, so you said a couple of comments. One of them was, well, she said a few things. One thing was the fact that he was just doing that to get votes. What can you want to? Go ahead. The floor is yours, Chica.
Well, Trump is a very interesting person, but I think he tapped into a part of society that is very partly gullible and just. They also have their frustrations that perhaps they felt that they hadn't been listened to. And it's very easy to get people on your side when you really feed into their fears. So I think he did a really, really good job at playing that game. I looked at some interviews that he had done back in the 90s, and he was a Democrat, and he was very well put together and very well spoken, and if he had, I wonder if he had run as a Democrat, if all of those people would have voted for him, because a lot of the things that he said in this election, he said back then, but people were more accepting of what he said. I think he really tapped into the racism that is in this country, and people don't like to admit it, but it's here. And in regards to him winning, I kind of knew that he would win, just based upon what happened in England with Brexit. So I just had a feeling that it was going to go down the way.
For our people that don't know what Brexit is, do you want to explain what that is?
Please.
Okay, so what Brexit is that basically the UK government allowed the British people to vote in a referendum to decide whether they wanted to stay within the European Union or not. And they won the vote, and they won the vote to leave the European Union. And what happened after they won the vote was that a lot of people felt that they had the green light to be racist. And a lot of people voted to leave the European Union because of immigration. They were tired of having immigrants come over. They were just, they didn't want immigrants anymore. They felt that immigrants had taken their jobs, and they just didn't like it. So a lot of people were also told that by leaving the European Union, the £350 million that was given each week to the EU would go back into the British economy, which isn't true. So after they all voted to leave, all the lies unraveled, and they realized that what they said wasn't true, and then our economy in England basically tanked. And so now in England, you're dealing with more racial abuse. And racial just attacks on people, especially Polish people and people from Eastern Europe. So seeing how that happened and how politicians that targeted race and immigration got people to say yes to leaving, knowing American history, I could see the parallel, and I could see how it would go down.
Wow,
So.
That is awesome. Thanks for breaking that down. That was like very clear. That was very clear. And you know, it was interesting. It's like I'm feeling like that's like the formula. You know, that
fear mongering.
Yeah, fear mongering. That rhetoric.
Yeah.
I always wanted to use that word rhetoric, but that rhetoric.
Yeah.
That's like the formula. I mean, that's from my understanding. You know, my perspective. That's how they made justified slavery, you know, basically saying, well, hey, because the poor whites didn't have anything, but it's like, hey, at least you're white, right? At least you're white, at least, you know, you don't want, but at the same time, what was really happening is, you know, the people that were benefiting from slavery, for example, were not the majority of the whites. The majority were poor, right? But you know, they kind of sold it to them, and under the guise of, you know, this fear and this, you know, and creating this opposition to, but in the end, the only ones that win are the people that are at the top and making the real money, and they buy into it. And I feel like that's the formula. You just mentioned that's kind of what they did, you know, with the Brexit, and that's kind of what they're doing now. And what's going to be sad, you mentioned it a minute ago, you said now you can already see that they're kind of back, so they make all these promises once they get the election, but they can't give you all of that. They're just going to step back and continue to redirect that cash to their own interests. And these people all those red states in the middle that voted, they're still going to be middle America, not benefiting from whatever they were promised.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that, if you look back on history, it happens time and time again. You see that with Nazi Germany and how Hitler used hateful rhetoric to, you know,
to bring
the Holocaust.
The whole country. That was pretty.
You see that with the genocide in Rwanda and how that hateful rhetoric and calling people cockroaches really led to that horrible, horrible, tragic moment in history where thousands and thousands of people were murdered. And you also see that with the Second World War, where the Americans didn't want to join the war, but using the anger and the hatred towards the Japanese, America found themselves involved in the Second World War when they didn't want to be.
Right.
So if you have someone who's very smart and able to tap into those emotions of people, they're able to control a larger number of people into doing what they want to do.
So now here we are on the flip side. I want to say that here we are on the flip side now. So what do you think is at hand for Trump to get to reunify everyone? Because right now everyone's split right in the middle, Maria. So
I don't know. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to do that. And I think if you look back on history, it can take one pivotal moment in history for it to change everything. And there's an interesting article on medium.com that's titled "History Tells Us What May Happen Next with Brexit and Trump." And basically, it states what will be our Archduke moment. So if you know, the First World War was triggered by the assassination of the Archduke, I think of Austria. That you can have an isolated incident in time, but it can trigger a much bigger thing. So, for example, now you have in France Marie Le Pen, who has similar viewpoints as Trump, campaigning, and then you'll have other countries that will eventually, America did it, England did it, let's fight for what we want, and not realizing that they can trigger a domino effect that could have very bad consequences on a global scale.
Wow, that's an interesting point. And can you say that document again so that I can follow up on that? What's the name of that?
The website
article you said?
The article.
So it's medium.com, and the writer is Tobias Stone. So if you put that in the search bar, it's called "History Tells Us What May Happen Next."
Got it. Okay.
With Brexit and Trump.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. We got it.
Very, very interesting.
Great call.
Cool.
Definitely great call, great information. We really appreciate that.
So we just put the link in for that document. Thank you, Maria. Love you, Mama.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you too.
Okay. Well, we hope to see you again.
Bye.
I know you will. See ya.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Ciao, Mama.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That was great.
Bye.
That's that. But so I think so. Yeah. So we were just saying earlier we want to do more guest speakers. We got I think we got a nice setup now. I think this is going to work really nicely. But I do like to give a chance for people to speak, and we heard some really good comments today, so which was awesome. It was actually fun, guys. So we appreciate.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you, James and Mr. Ramon and Maria
and Melquise.
Okay. And then Tony, thank you for the information about our happy founder of PayPal.
Yeah, I need new glasses.
Oh my goodness.
All right, guys. So enjoy the Patriots game.
Yes, I'm heading out. So I'm going to Murphy's Law, but if you all are doing a Patriots party, give a sister a holler. If not, I'm going to New Hampshire.
Wow, that's like a radical.
Well, I live there. I have to go. I only come for the podcast today. I dropped my mom off and I came for the
Thanks for
podcast.
coming down.
Absolutely. All right, people.
All right, signing off. Over and out.
Peace. Peace.